Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And panel, unfortunately, I'm going to have to leave in a few minutes, but I think this is a very important discussion. Coming from California, I'm mindful that the votes of my constituents count 1/3 as compared to a Wyoming resident. And looking ahead for the stability of our democracy, I don't think that is a sustainable model, that my constituents will be ruled by people whose votes counts 3 times as much as theirs. That is aggravated by disparity in taxation, where California, for example, pays more than it gets in services from the federal government, whereas some of the smaller states whose votes count 3 times as much as my constituents actually are net recipients of federal tax dollars. You know, this is barely sustainable today, but if you look 50 years in advance, where the bigger states are getting bigger and the little states are losing population, I don't think we can sustain our American democracy by having the majority ruled by the minority. And so the question is how to fix this, since the Constitution is written in such a way that it's almost impossible to amend. There are 2 things that I think I hope the panel will address, and I will get a full report. One is Dr. Koz's interstate compact idea, and whether the compact can avoid interference by the House of Representatives in the Senate. And the second is the issue of a constitutional convention. We are 3 states away from calling for a constitutional convention. It's something I've always been opposed to. You cannot limit the subject matter to a single subject, the balanced budget amendment. But I'll say, because of, for the second time in 16 years, the people, the American voters elected, did not in fact become president. Rational people, not the fringe, are now talking about whether states could be separated from the U.S., whether we should have a constitutional convention. And I think as time goes on, that is apt to become more the case unless we here can figure an answer to preventing the majority from being ruled by the minority. And I thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I thank you, ma'am.